guys. I wanted to make a video to address a post that was brought to my attention recently. I actually don't want to do this, but I feel it's necessary because I keep hearing about people that saw the post but didn't say anything to me. So I've been thinking about it and how to handle it. And I don't want to have to repeat myself every time it is brought up. So I figured I'll just make a video, put it out there. And that way, if anybody questions me or the subject arises in the future and they want to know the truth or what's going on, I can just refer them to this video rather than having to repeat myself over and over and over, which I've been doing for a couple years already. And I thought all of this was behind me, but apparently not. So some people brought it to my attention, people that are actually my friends brought it to my attention, a post that was placed on a Facebook page called Bikers with Hearts. They posted a screenshot of my profile with my picture, and they accused me of being a scammer. They were basically warning people that I'm a scammer, okay? They said in their post that I have taken advantage of veterans and small businesses, all of which is a crock of shit. Some of you know, maybe not everybody, but I've done some charity work. When I got my motorcycle license, I was approached by somebody who ran a, I don't know if it's not even a club, but they had this organization, and they recruited me, and the cause was rescuing dogs from kill shelters and training them to be service dogs for veterans with PTSD. I'm like, I love that. Love that. So the first time I helped them out, I did registration, closed up the cash box. This was at Woodstock Harley Davidson. Handed them the cash box. It went into a car. Where it went from there, I don't know. And I enjoyed the ride. The second event that I was involved with them in, the event planner had quit 5 weeks before the event. I said, don't worry about it. I'll take care of it. I'll pick the locations. I'll plan the route. I'll make the arrangements for a police escort or whatever's necessary. And, collect raffle prizes and sponsors and the whole 9 yards. Of which I did. I recruited one of my friends from high school. Somehow she got involved. And we raised $11,000. We had 198 bikes and raised $11,000. And the CEO told me that's more than they had raised in all 4 years they'd been put together. So, of course, I was inspired. That made me feel good. I thought, gosh, I could never cut a check for $11,000 out of my own bank account, but I can certainly do this again, so this would be a great way for me to give back. When basically he was very negative, the CEO, when I say the CEO was very negative. He was posting on his charity page, like, come on guys, we need volunteers, step up, that sort of thing. And I had to babysit him. I had to tell him, look, you can't guilt trip people into volunteering. You have to inspire them. So, he knew he was turning people off. He knew that he had basically less than a handful of volunteers left. The rest he had already run off. And so he was talking about making me CEO after that ride that I did that raised $11,000 because he could see what I was capable of doing for his organization, right? So I had wanted to host a volunteer appreciation party, which we had, just to say thank you to the volunteers and buy them lunch, basically, and just show them that we appreciate them. Unfortunately, that volunteer appreciation party was turned into a Jerry Springer shit show where the CEO brought a 6-page letter, in which case he started ambushing one of his volunteers, accusing him of using the club to pick up women. He brought the lady who had walked out on him 5 weeks before the event planner who had walked out on him. She showed up at the volunteer appreciation party, even though she didn't volunteer. She walked out. And then there was another girl there who wore the patch, but flat out told me she doesn't do volunteer work. She has no desire to help out in any way. She just wants to sport the patch. So he brought both of them, or invited both of them. And when they walked in, honestly, it felt a little bit like an ambush. Okay, I was like, why? We were like, why is she here? And I thought, why is this one here? She don't want to volunteer. Why is she up here sucking up a free lunch for volunteer appreciation? So, that didn't sit right with me right away. But then when he busted out the 6-page letter and started ambushing one of his volunteers in front of all of the other volunteers, I was like, wow, this is just a Jerry Springer shit show. Please stop reading this letter. This is not the time, the place, the location. I was embarrassed. I was humiliated. I was appalled at his behavior. So I ended up telling the person who had quit, the event planner who had walked out 5 weeks before, I said, hey, it's all yours. I don't want it. I don't want to be CEO. I'm leaving the group. I want nothing to do with you people, because I can see you're all backstabbing drama people. And so I paid for the lunch, and several of us all left at the same time. And as I was walking out to my car in the parking lot, I was approached by 3 of his volunteers, one of who had just been basically ambushed by him, and 2 more. And they all said to me, we know another organization with the same cause. Would you be interested in, doing a ride for them? And I said, I love the cause. I love the cause. And I would love to do something like this again. I just don't want to be around people like that are ambushing each other, backstabbing each other. Like, that's just not a healthy environment. And so, they introduced me to another organization with the same cause. And, I told this organization I don't want to be a member of their organization. I'm strictly looking to host a ride and donate it to a great cause. Okay. And so we started doing that. We started working with this new group. And in the meantime, the old group, the first one, the CEO Jerry Springer shit show, of course, why would I think any differently? They're already doing it to each other. So when I left, of course, they had nothing but bad things to say about me now because they found out that I went to this other organization, which I didn't know at the time. They had some history with each other. I was completely unaware, and in hindsight, I feel like I might have actually been used to get back at the first organization by bringing me over to the next one. And saying, well, if you're gonna treat me like this, well, then I'm gonna take her over here. And how do you like that? And well, I didn't know what I was getting myself into. All I knew was I wanted to support the cause, do a ride, donate it to charity. Whatever history those 2 groups had was none of my business. That's in the past. That's between you all. I'm just trying to support the cause. Okay. So I proceeded to do so, and I raised, me and my volunteers, I had a good, about 30 volunteers this time. We raised $20,000, a little over $20,000. At that ride, this new organization threw a vest with a patch on me, which I greatly appreciated. I feel like I earned it with raising $20,000 for them. I've never considered myself a club member. I'm more of an ambassador for the organization and the cause. That's how I saw myself as I wore the vest. They're not an MC or anything like that. Neither was the first organization, although they want to be. They're MC wannabes, or they were. They were. I don't know how. There's new people now. Anyways, I'm rambling. Fast forward, that original group that was all drama and negativity, they had broke up. This has been a few years, so I thought, okay, it's safe to dabble into the charity world again, do something I love, I can contribute, give back. A friend of mine has lost a sibling to a drug overdose, and she's been wanting to do a ride. And she asked me if I would help her. I said, by all means, I would love to help you. So I went to her place of work, and in between her clients, I went out of my way to meet her at her place of work in between her clients to have a meeting with her about how I could help her with her charity event, her first charity event. And at that meeting, she discussed finding organizations that support the type of drug that her sibling had passed away on. And I suggested, why don't you start your own organization in honor of your sibling? That way you know exactly where the funds you're raising are going. And she loved the idea, and that's what she did. Now, in the same meeting, I had discussed my history with charity and everything that I just kind of told you. In addition, when I left that first group, people kept telling me, and I know for firsthand because it was somebody who worked for Harley Davidson, witnessed the CEO of that first organization tearing down my posters that I had placed up for my second ride, which was with another organization, but the same cause. I know it's confusing. Long story short, the first organization started tearing down my posters, trying to promote my ride. They were bad-mouthing me. They were saying that I stole their volunteer list, which is a lie. There was no list. There was literally one other person at the meeting when I went to his house. He had already scared everyone away. And at that Jerry Springer shit show of a meeting that was supposed to be my volunteer appreciation luncheon, he had pretty much scared anyone who had left away. And so his volunteers stole me, if anything, and introduced me to the other organization. They had already known about the other organization. One of them had a dog from the other organization. I didn't know the other organization even existed until they referred me to them. So the lies that were being spread about me then was that I stole their volunteer list, and that's just simply not true. Fast forward to today, that group, it still exists, but there's all new members. That CEO has since resigned. He's no longer there. It's a completely new group of people, so I have nothing positive or negative to say about them because I don't know them. But unfortunately, the lies that were being spread about me in the past are still lingering because when I was helping my friend just now, or so-called friend just now, I had collected a donation from Dingies in Fox Lake. They had said they would support. And so I went there and I collected the donation. I had the check made out to my friend's organization's name. They gave me a gift basket for the raffle. And in exchange for this check that they wrote out to my friend's organization's name, I promised them that their logo would be on the flyers and the banner at the event. In which case I followed up with 2 phone calls over the course of the next few days to get that logo from Dingies because Dingies had not sent it to me yet. I was working with Alan, the owner of Dingies. I gave him my email. He was to send me his logo. I wasn't getting it, so I followed up twice, asking him, please send me the logo. We want to get the flyers done ASAP. Next thing I know, people are sending me private messages with a screenshot of the post that was placed on Bikers with Hearts Facebook page. Again, accusing me of being a scammer, taking advantage of, veterans and small businesses, which is a lie. None of the collections I've made in the past for charity have ever been complained about me or not gotten what they were promised. And so, basically, I went to the post and I thanked them for giving me the proof that I need in the form of writing, aka screenshot, to sue them for defamation of character. Not only did they give me the proof that I need in the form of writing, it's called libel, defamation of character, in particular libel. I screenshot it, so I have proof now, which is a lot harder to prove than word of mouth. Easier to prove than word of mouth. So I took screenshots, and I told them, I commented saying that I would be contacting an attorney, and the post was taken down within 24 hours, or 12 hours of the time me calling them out on it, their lies. If it were true, they wouldn't have taken it down, but they know it's not true, so if they leave it up there, they only subject them to being sued, so they had no choice but to take it down. So that's what they did. But in the meantime, I had messaged my so-called friend who I was helping with her first charity event, told her what was going on, told her how pissed I was, and that I was going to be suing these people. Asked her to let them know that she in fact recruited me and asked for my help. Basically correct their accusations and stand up for me and her organization, which was named in the post. I would think she'd have a problem with the person who posted that shit putting her organization's name and the word scam in the same post. But for whatever reason, I don't know, she must believe them or what, but she, instead of supporting me, sent me a stone cold text message saying, one stone cold text message saying that I'm no longer permitted to collect donations for her organization, and blah 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 blah. And of course, wow, that put me in awe, because I thought this woman was my friend, and I've done nothing but try to help her. I've done nothing wrong. I've actually went out of my way to try and help her, and that's how she does me. That's okay. At first I was very hurt because I took it the wrong way. I was reminded that the way she responded to this situation and the way she handled it and treated me is a reflection of her character, not mine. And they couldn't be more accurate. So there's that. So that being said, if anyone says I'm a scammer, please, by all means, or anything unethical about me, please send me a screenshot and let me know about it as soon as possible so that I can address it sooner than later. That would be greatly appreciated. I do have everything I need to sue them for libel at this point. I've got that post screenshot. I've got a check that was canceled, which proves that I was affected by their post. And so does the so-called friends text message, also proves that I was affected by that post. So I have a certain time frame to sue, and I will be doing so once I save up the money to hire an attorney, because I got a clear-cut case. But in the meantime, if you see any more bullshit out there about me, please screenshot it and send it to me so I can add that to my case. Thanks, everybody. You have any questions, I can give you resources and back up everything in this post. Oh, by the way, these people, Bikers with Hearts, I will post a link below. The CEO was arrested for pulling a gun on somebody in a road rage incident not too long ago up in Richmond. I'll post the link below. That's who you're supporting when you support Bikers with Hearts. And when you go to Dingies, that's who's hanging out at Dingies. I don't know whether he drinks or not, but I wouldn't want to be around him when he's under the influence of alcohol. If he's pulling guns in road rage incidents, who knows what he'd do when he's under the influence of alcohol. Peace out. Thanks for listening.